Hello and welcome back to Football is Live. I hope everyone's all right out there. We're going to look now, we're just going to round up the European football this week and look ahead also to the Premier League this weekend as we near the end of the season, I suppose now, the last few games of what we can say has been a different Premier League this season, with the set pieces, and maybe it hasn't been the most entertaining season in parts, but what a week for the European teams, the English European teams. I mean, going in, tough fixtures, thinking, we could have a really shocking week, I suppose, for results for English teams. But overall, a brilliant week. So, yeah, lots to tuck into. Please comment, like and subscribe. Follow the channel, please. And I'll keep making these football videos that I love doing. So please back the channel. All right, and we'll tuck straight into it. Now, what a brilliant week for Arsenal, Aston Villa, Nottingham Forest and Crystal Palace. I mean, just massive results in Europe this week. Arsenal going to Lisbon, getting a very late winner. I mean, a draw would have been, a great result to take back to the Emirates, no doubt. But, Kai Havertz, late in the game, Arsenal kept pushing, got the winner, and they are in full control now in the home leg and looking to go through the semi-final, to the semi-final in Europe's biggest competition, which, after Arsenal's recent performances in cup competitions, will be a massive relief, to Arteta, his whole team, the whole squad. That will definitely lift the confidence going into the Premier League, knowing that, we're almost in a Champions League semi-final. And those little games like that, those little wins are the ones that kind of keep you going, I suppose, like for your league season. That, just to remind, we are a top side. We know what we're doing. We're going to get through in Europe. We're going to go into the rest of the Premier League and we're not going to let Man City catch us. So I think for Arsenal, that was such a key result. If they'd have gone to Portugal, lost another game there, it really, really would have been more like, wheels falling off type situation of your bandwagon and not what you want to be having. So big result for Arsenal, needed. And they got the job done professionally. Clean sheet in Portugal is always a big thing. So well done to them. And I'm sure, let us know if you think that there's any way back for Lisbon. But I think they'll finish the deal off comfortable at the Emirates. And they'll be through. And obviously with a big game this weekend, a massive result for them. Another one as well. I said on this channel that I thought the English teams in the Europa had really, really tough games. Your likes of your Fiorentinas, and we'll come on to Palace. I thought Palace would have a good night, and what a brilliant night for Palace. But Villa's result in Italy, away against Bologna, is a fantastic result. I really thought that was going to be a really tricky game, and maybe Bologna winning that, and Villa having it all to do back at Villa Park. But a great result in Italy, and just, them and Forest, and, Forest's game as well in Portugal at Porto having a good season in Portugal, that they're up there as always, and a really tough place to go. Obviously, they got very, very fortunate with a bizarre own goal from the Porto player from about 35 yards out past his own goalie. But sometimes you need that bit of luck, don't you? You need that luck away from home in European competition. And, they could have easily have gone to Porto and lost that first leg and had it all to do in the second leg. But, a draw in Portugal, I think, is just a wonderful result. And one of the results in Europe this season for an English team for definite, because a very, very tough place to go. That would have been a big atmosphere. So massively well done to Forest. And, they really have a chance of going through to a semi-final. So do Villa. Villa look 100% through. And so do Crystal Palace. I did tip Palace up. I really thought they could have a good night at home against Fiorentina and that they might struggle at Selhurst Park. But, I thought maybe 1-0 at best. But, wow, 3-0. Palace looked just comfortable. Brilliant display. And another team that look 100% through. So it's looking really, really good for the English teams now, with a number of them looking in a really good, strong position to get through to semi-finals of European football. And that's what we want. We've just had this week that, England have been awarded the 5th place in the Premier League. Spoke about Everton and Brentford, and they meet this weekend. So, just massively coincidental that they collide. But, there's 5 places in the Champions League up for grabs. A couple places below that, 6th, 7th and 8th getting rewarded. So, we're looking really, really good all of a sudden. And it looks like, we could have we hope a couple English teams in finals of European football this year, which would be brilliant, great to report and analyse and come on and speak about. So, the British Football Podcast, the English Football Podcast, this is what we want. We want English teams performing well in Europe. So, been a really pleasing week there. Well done to all the teams. Hopefully they can finish the job and go through. It'd be unbelievable. So, but the Palace result and the Forest result and the Villa result, I was excited about the games, as I said in previous episodes, but big results and so pleasing to see. So, up the English teams in Europe. And then another one, obviously, we've got Liverpool. They've gone to Paris with a back 5. I did a video yesterday, a little reaction short video on YouTube. And I thought it was very much damage limitation. They would have hoped maybe to get just maybe a 1-0 defeat in Paris. It could have been more. Didn't think it really worked. And it's sad to see Liverpool going in Europe and playing a back 5. Not being able to go toe-to-toe, I suppose, with Europeans' finest. But Paris, we know, are a deadly side. Very, very good side. And it's probably worked out all right. It could have been a lot worse, could have been a lot better. But what I wanted to say, I suppose, was I don't think Liverpool are out of it. And I think there is hope for Liverpool. They have the magic of Anfield, where they can go away from home and lose, and they've done it in the past, and they can still come home, and Anfield is just a special, special place. And if you get the ball rolling and you get the crowd rolling, it really can be a tough assignment for Paris. And I think it all hinges on Anfield, Liverpool's magic. Can they get off to a quick start? I mean, if Liverpool get a goal in the first 10, 15, 20 minutes and go 1-0 up, at home, second leg, quarterfinal of the European Cup, the crowd will be so up for it. The players, and they can produce. They can produce a one-off display, I think, of pure magic. They've done it in the past. There's a special feeling at Anfield in a European game. So the message is I don't think Liverpool are out of it. I think it's going to take a lot. Paris will probably only need 1 goal on the night for it to be too much, depending on when that goal comes. But they can do it, Liverpool. And if they go 1-0 up, it's going to be a cracking game and a real interesting second leg. So the message is, Liverpool, I don't think you're out of it. I think there's a chance, but you have to score the first goal in that European tie or it's going to be over. So it all on the first goal for me. 1-0 to Paris. Good night, Vienna. It's over. Liverpool are out. But if Liverpool get that first and they can at home in Anfield, they've got a real chance. All right. So that rounds up the little European roundup there for the week. Overall, brilliant week for English teams and so good to see. We now look ahead to the Premier League this weekend. Starting tonight, there's a Friday night game. We love the little cheeky Friday night games. And we have West Ham v Wolves, which is massive down the bottom. Massive for West Ham. You know, Wolves have been brilliant since Christmas. They've played their part in the Premier League this year after looking like they were just going to go down with a whimper. So it's a big game. But I do give West Ham hope in this one. And I think West Ham will come out on top 2-1 and put the pressure on the rest on Friday night. And on Saturday then we move big games. We've got 4 on Saturday, 4 on Sunday. Starting with Arsenal v Bournemouth. I thought this could have been a really tricky game if Arsenal had lost in Europe. But now Arsenal have won that game, I think they're going to follow it up at home. We know Bournemouth are a good competitive side. They'll give anyone a game. So Arsenal are going to have to earn it at this time of the year. I think they will, maybe with a late winner. So I'm going Arsenal 2, Bournemouth 1. Brentford v Everton. Okay, we were speaking, I've put videos out about these two this season. They've both had an extraordinary season. Now this, if you're going to finish fifth in the Premier League, this is a must-win game for either team. Brentford have been decent at home, decent season, as we've said. Everton, decent away, decent season under Moisey. So it really is, it's going to be an easy one to sit on the fence here and say a draw. And that's what most people will probably back, as they're both up there. They both would rather not lose, I suppose, and give anything away to the other team. But I'm going to back Everton to win at Brentford, and Everton to have one of those days where they shut up shop, counter-attack, and win 1-0 at Brentford, and Everton continue to march. So let's see. It's a big prediction. Draw would have been a safe one, but I'm going to back the Toffees to get a 1-0 win. Burnley v Brighton. Bit of a non-game, really. I think Burnley now that, that the towels will be out on the sun loungers, I think, for Burnley. They know their fate. You could say the pressure's off, they could perform, but I just think Brighton are too good overall, and they'll roll up to Turf Moor and win this quite comfortable. So Burnley 0, Brighton 2, and Brighton marching on. And then Liverpool v Fulham. Liverpool, obviously, big games in Europe coming up, but they've still got to try and qualify for this Champions League. There's jobs to be done. But I think I'm going to give Fulham a little bit of a shock scorer and getting a draw at Anfield. I think Fulham are good value to really turn up and be competitive. So Liverpool 1, Fulham 1. There's probably another little surprise result there. Hopefully that one comes true, or I could look silly if Liverpool steamroll them. But Fulham, you've earned enough this season to be backed and be supported. So 1-1 at Anfield for Fulham. And then Super Sunday, we've got 4 games on Sunday. We've got Crystal Palace off the back of a European success at home to Newcastle. I did say back along that I would back against Palace a lot in the Premier League with the Mateta situation, the manager leaving, but they have rallied. They do look good, but I think just playing that massive game against Fiorentina on Thursday night, Newcastle having a bit of a rest and looking fresh. I back Newcastle here to get a result at Palace. I go Palace 1, Newcastle 2, and Newcastle desperately needing a result, and I think they'll just come up trumps on this one. Forest v Villa, again, 2 sides with good European results, and I think that will diminish maybe the quality in the game. I know Forest have just got to put everything on the line to stay up, but I think Villa are too good to just underestimate here and say it's going to be one of those kind of relegation scrap home wins. So I'm going to go Forest 2, Villa 2. And, I was going to go for the 1-1, but let's pray for a few more goals and a bit more entertainment, even though both sides will probably be a bit leggy. Maybe mistakes at the back could cause some goals. So Desmond 2-2 in that one, Forest v Villa. Sunderland v Spurs. Now, this is a big one. De Zerbi's first game, really tough. We know they've got tough fixtures. They're going away to Sunderland. Sunderland with one of the best home records in the Premier League. Been amazing in their first season in the Premier League. And I just don't think they're going to give it up lightly. I think Spurs, we've got that bounce back ability maybe of a new manager coming in. They're going to have a real go at Sunderland. And I think this is going to be another entertaining 2-2. But it's not going to be enough for Tottenham. They're going to want the win. But I don't think they're going to get it just yet here. And I think their home games under De Zerbi are going to be important to the end of the season. But I think they'll take a draw, and I think they'll be happy with a draw. So 2-2 at the Stadium of Light. And then finishing up, Super Sunday, 4:30, Sunday afternoon. A big one for Chelsea and Man City. It's a must-win for Man City, and I think it's a must-win for Chelsea, really. Going for these European places, they could really put one foot in there now. But it's obviously the hardest test and the hardest game that they could have come across this weekend. City in good form, flying. Pep's got them flying. I think it's going to continue because I think Chelsea are maybe just not strong enough at the back to contain City and the power that they've got. Semenyo's, Cherki's, Haaland's, Doku's. I mean, the list, it just goes on and on. I think it'll be too much. So I'm going to go Chelsea 1, Man City 3. All right. And that is my roundup for the weekend and the preview. Looking forward to the weekend. So if you're playing, go into a game, enjoy it all. Stay safe out there, legends. All right. Football is live. Back the channel. Like, comment and subscribe. Come on.